They don't come with horns, they come for your soul. These are the 7 spirits most people never discern. Most people think spiritual attack looks dramatic. But in reality, it looks like laziness, confusion, rage, lust, pride, division, obsession with money, and deep inner emptiness. The scariest part? Many people don't even realize they are under attack. They simply think this is who they are. They think this is just life. They think they are not disciplined, not lucky, not strong enough, or not good enough. But what if the real problem goes deeper than personality, mood, or environment? What if there are unseen spiritual forces actively working to delay you, derail you, and destroy the purpose God placed inside you before you were even born? These spirits don't attack your body first. They attack your mind. They attack your clarity. They attack your self-worth. They attack your relationships. They attack your calling. Their mission isn't just to hurt you. Their mission is to keep you from becoming who you were created to be, but not anymore. Because in this video, I am going to expose the 7 spirits that are silently destroying people every day. You may have felt their effects without ever knowing their names. But tonight, the hidden will be revealed, and what stays in the dark will finally be brought into the light. Because once you can discern them, they can no longer control you. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel as we get into it. Spirit 1. Belphegor. The spirit of spiritual paralysis. This is not the loudest spirit. It does not scream. It does not break things around you. It does not cause chaos that others can easily see. In fact, it prefers silence, stillness, delay, procrastination, comfort, sleep, distraction. Belphegor is the spirit that whispers, "Do it tomorrow." And tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And before you know it, your life is stuck on pause. He keeps you tired, even when you've had enough sleep. He makes you unmotivated, even when your heart has big dreams. He fills your mind with distraction, endless scrolling, endless entertainment, endless excuses. Not because you're weak, but because he is afraid of who you'd become if you ever truly woke up. Belphegor attacks purpose. He paralyzes your ambition. He makes you fall in love with comfort while your destiny slowly starves. You start things but never finish them. You plan but never execute. You wait for the perfect moment that never comes. And when guilt starts to rise inside you, Belphegor doesn't hide. Instead, he changes the narrative in your mind. But deep down, you know the truth. The Bible says, "Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give you light." Ephesians 5 verses 14. Belphegor is the spirit that keeps you asleep while time walks past you. He doesn't need to destroy you. All he has to do is delay you. Because a delayed purpose is a defeated purpose. And here's the most dangerous thing about him. He makes you comfortable in chains. So if you've been feeling stuck, if your dreams feel distant, if your motivation feels buried, if you've stopped believing in the version of yourself you once saw, don't just call it burnout or laziness. Discern the spirit behind it. Because once you see Belphegor clearly, his power over your life begins to break. Spirit 2. Asmodeus. The spirit of lust, affairs, and broken families. This is one of the most destructive spirits walking through modern society, and yet it is one of the most normalized. Asmodeus appears as desire. He appears as pleasure. He appears as fun. He appears as freedom, excitement, and curiosity. But behind the attraction is quiet devastation. Asmodeus attacks through temptation. He twists what was meant to be sacred into something cheap. He turns love into lust. He turns intimacy into addiction. He turns connection into consumption. He targets the eyes first, then the mind, and finally, the heart. He makes you crave what you shouldn't touch. He makes you flirt when you should be faithful. He makes you fantasize when you should be focused. He makes you cheat, not just on your partner, but on your purpose. And he is patient. He doesn't destroy families overnight. He starts with small compromises, secret messages, hidden apps, late-night conversations, flirting disguised as jokes, emotional connections that feel harmless until they are not. Flee from sexual immorality, for the one who sins sexually sins against their own body. 1 Corinthians 6 verses 18. Not all temptations can be overcome by staying still. You have to run away to overcome Asmodeus. The strongest weapon against Asmodeus is awareness, and above all, it is self-control. Spirit 3. Astaroth. The spirit of pride and rebellion. This one is dangerous because it doesn't look dangerous at first. Astaroth shows up as confidence. He doesn't come as insecurity. He comes as self-belief. He appears as light. He flatters. He validates. He whispers, "You are superior. You are different. You don't need anyone. You don't need guidance. You don't need God." And slowly, what starts as confidence becomes arrogance. What starts as independence becomes isolation. What starts as self-belief becomes self-worship. Astaroth attacks humility. He convinces you that correction is an insult. He convinces you that advice is control. He convinces you that accountability is weakness. He convinces you that obedience to God is outdated. He makes you question authority. He makes you despise instruction. He makes you mock wisdom. He makes you reject anything that requires submission. Not submission to man, but submission to God. He is the spirit that says, "I know better. I don't need help. I don't need church. I don't need guidance. I'll do it my own way." And in doing it your own way, you slowly drift away from truth. Astaroth thrives in rebellion. Rebellion in children towards parents. Rebellion in people towards leaders. Rebellion in humanity towards God himself. He replaces God's will with ego. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16 verses 18. Astaroth doesn't need to destroy you with force. He just needs to make you destroy yourself through arrogance, impulsive decisions, and stubbornness. He convinces you that you're rising, while you are actually falling. He convinces you that you're enlightened, while you're actually deceived. He convinces you that you're brave, while you're simply disobedient. And the most tragic part is that pride blinds you to the fact that you are blind. You don't see your own flaws. You don't hear warnings. You don't recognize danger. You don't sense when you are drifting away. Because Astaroth's greatest power is this: he makes you feel right, even when you are wrong. So, examine yourself. When was the last time you accepted correction? When was the last time you apologized? When was the last time you admitted you were wrong? When was the last time you humbled yourself before God? Because if pride has taken root, it will grow into destruction. But if humility is restored, Astaroth loses all power. For God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Spirit 4. Leviathan. The spirit of misunderstanding, confusion, and division. Leviathan does not attack with fire. He attacks with words. He doesn't need violence or power. He simply needs conversation. Because he lives in assumptions, misinterpretation, offense, and misunderstanding. Leviathan is the spirit that makes you hear what was never said and miss what was actually meant. He twists tone, twists intention, twists memory, twists perception. Suddenly, a simple comment feels like an insult. A harmless question feels like an attack. A small disagreement becomes a deep wound. A misunderstanding becomes hatred. He turns friends into enemies. He turns lovers into strangers. He turns families into battlegrounds. Here is the most dangerous part. Most people think they are fighting each other, when in reality, they are being manipulated by Leviathan. He plants seeds of suspicion. What did they mean by that? Why did they look at me that way? They don't respect you. End quote. They're against you. They think they're better than you. He makes you replay conversations in your mind over and over until peace is replaced by anger. Then he pushes you to react instead of reflect, to attack instead of understand, to speak instead of listen, to divide instead of reconcile. And once division starts, he pours fuel on the fire. He brings pride back in. He brings bitterness in. He brings unforgiveness in. He brings gossip in. Now it's no longer just a misunderstanding. It becomes a war. The Bible describes him as a twisted, coiling serpent, a spirit that cannot live in peace, a spirit that stirs chaos in the deep. And that is exactly what he does in relationships. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. James 3 verses 16. Leviathan specializes in confusion. Confusion in marriages, in churches, in friendships, in communication, even in your own mind. He is the spirit that destroys unity. But here is the truth. Leviathan cannot survive in clarity. The moment you choose understanding over assumption, grace over anger, conversation over conflict, forgiveness over pride, he begins to suffocate. So the next time conflict rises, don't react immediately. Don't assume immediately. Don't attack immediately. Pause, reflect, seek understanding. Because what looks like a human problem may actually be a spiritual one. And Leviathan only wins when you let him speak for you. Spirit 5. Mammon, the spirit of money worship and endless hunger. This one is subtle, respected, and even celebrated in modern society. People don't warn you about Mammon. They encourage him. They call it ambition. They call it the grind. They call it hustling. They post motivational quotes about him. They build their whole lives around him. But Mammon is never satisfied. He doesn't want you to have money. He wants money to have you. He wants your peace in exchange for profit. He wants your time in exchange for status. He wants your morals in exchange for comfort. He wants your soul in exchange for success. Mammon convinces people their value is measured in numbers. Your bank account, your car, your house, your clothes, your followers, your lifestyle. And suddenly, your worth is no longer based on who you are, but on what you own. He turns blessings into obsessions. He turns provision into pressure. He turns vision into greed. He makes people step on others to climb higher. He makes them lie to close deals. He makes them exploit to get ahead. He makes them neglect their families for one more contract. He makes them miss their children growing up for just a little more money. And the lie he whispers is this: once you have enough, you'll finally be happy. But enough never comes, because Mammon always moves the finish line. No one can serve two masters. You cannot serve both God and money. Matthew 6 verses 24. If God is your Lord, Mammon becomes a tool. But if Mammon is your Lord, God becomes an option. And what does Mammon leave behind? People with full bank accounts and empty hearts. People with success and no joy. People with everything and yet nothing. He makes people forget what really matters: love, family, peace, purpose, God. So, check your heart. Do you use money? Or does money use you? Do you control it? Or does it control you? Wealth can make you comfortable, but only truth can make you free. Spirit 6. Lilith. The spirit of seduction, confusion, and inner chaos. This is not simply about attraction. This is about distortion of identity. Lilith doesn't just tempt the body, she confuses the mind. She doesn't just seduce, she destabilizes. She doesn't just influence, she corrupts self-perception and purpose. Her greatest weapon is confusion. She teaches men to see people as objects instead of souls. She teaches women to rebel against their design instead of embracing their power. She teaches children to question who they are before they even understand who they are meant to become. She attacks the foundation of the homes as she whispers lies into identity. You're not enough. You were born wrong. You need approval to be valued. Your body is your power. Your beauty is your worth. Your rebellion is your freedom. And the world echoes her message louder every day. Under her influence, love becomes manipulation. Feminine becomes hatred. Masculine becomes toxicity. Children become lost. She targets fathers, stripping them of leadership. She targets mothers, stripping them of nurture. She targets children, stripping them of innocence. The tragic part is that people think they're being liberated when they are actually being fragmented. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14 verses 33. What breaks her hold is clarity of identity, healing of wounds, restoration of order, and peace rooted in God, not in the world's noise. Lilith can never survive where truth lives, because divine truth always restores order. Spirit 7. Abaddon, the spirit of destruction. This is the one that comes when everything else has failed. Abaddon is the spirit of torment, darkness, hopelessness, and collapse. He doesn't begin the battle, he arrives to finish it. He moves through depression, through despair, through suicidal thoughts, through uncontrollable rage, through nightmares, through deep internal warfare that no one else can see. If Belphegor delays you, if Asmodeus corrupts you, if Astaroth exalts you, if Leviathan divides you, if Mammon chains you, if Lilith confuses you, Abaddon comes to erase you. He is the voice that whispers, "Give up. No one cares. You'll never change. The world would be better without you. It's too late." He makes you feel like a burden, like a mistake, like an accident, like you don't belong here. And his ultimate mission is to make you give up on the very future God prepared for you. The Bible refers to him as the destroyer. But the truth is, Abaddon has no real power of his own. He only works where hope is absent. He tries to steal your joy, steal your peace, steal your identity, steal your future. But he cannot take what you refuse to surrender, even in your weakest moment, even in your darkest night, even when you feel completely alone. God is still with you. Abaddon wants you to believe the storm is permanent, but it's not. He wants you to believe your story is over, but it's not. He wants you to believe you are finished, but you're not. The fact that you are still breathing is proof that your purpose is still alive. And this is what he fears the most. A person who survives the darkness becomes a threat to the darkness. A person who stands after being broken becomes dangerous to the enemy. A person who chooses to live after wanting to die becomes a testimony that hell could not stop. The God who formed you is greater than the force that fights you. Always keep that in mind.